Hello and good morning. Today, taking out the rear light. So any wiring that's behind this little flap here, and I think it runs along that side of the car. Remove all the lights, get everything out, and then pull everything out. And then we'll start looking into putting stuff back in. Hopefully anyway. Anyway, let's make a start. So I've got the lights out, and obviously the wiring here is very sort of crispy. But the Japanese, they've created these great little clips, which are easily removable, and they stay in place. It's good. So I'm going to pull all this out, and it looks like the wiring does go down the right-hand chassis. Look how easy that is. I don't know how that'll be on a UK car. Probably not as solid as this. Anyway, I'll step these wires, get this all out, and I'll show you what's going on in a moment. So it begins. All of this needs to go into all of this. I've temporarily hung this here for two reasons. It's easy access for fault finding, and also I'll make a mount when I get back to the UK to mount it behind, so I'm gaining length, so it can go, and it give me some form of maneuverability. I can't put it where it originally was here because it's too tight, it's too deep. I've tried to get an original loom, but I can't. They're very difficult, very expensive, whereas this is, if I want to change it in the future, this is easy enough to put in and to pull back out, and it's cheap enough. So yeah, so at the moment this is where I'm at. Got all the cables ready to go onto the front here. I'm going to obviously connect them back down here and tie them up out the way. And at the moment I'm just separating what needs to go into the engine bay and what needs to go to the back. So I can have a vague idea of what to expect and start to route stuff and get it out the way. And then I'll probably have to pull it all back out to wrap it and then put it back in. But we'll get there, slowly but surely. Wires everywhere. So as you can see, I've basically laid out some of the wires, certainly into the engine bay for the headlights, the indicators. These are extended. These are going to go to the passenger side headlight and then across to the driver's side. And then I've started throwing things across here, like starter power, starter solenoid power, and things like that for the coil, dizzy, etc. And now down this side is all the stuff that needs to come across and then down and then under the car to the back. I hope I have enough length. I've not tried it yet, so I'll carry on feeding it through and then feeding it back through. What I'm probably going to do is set it in like this, make sure everything reaches as it should, and I'm going to tape off any joints, so anywhere where a wire needs to come out of the loom, I'll tape it off there, either end, so a wire can come out, and I'll probably take it all back out, wrap it all up, and then put it back in. But we'll see how we go. Hopefully, I just hope these wires are long enough. They seem it, but as always, not everything is as it seems. So, update. I can't remember what I last said, but I've gone through the indicators, flash and dipped, so I know what colours are on here. I've got the Haynes manual, so I know roughly. Worked out which cables go into here and to where. Realised that the power for the coil, there isn't a switch hole for it on this, so I need to clag that onto the back of ignition switch, which is fine. Started to solder in. I'm not very happy, but it'll do for now. Solder in so I can connect the plug up, and then obviously when I get to the UK I'll change the whole plug, and then probably cut it right down. It'll be fine for now whilst I'm in Saudi Arabia, as long as it works. I'm not too worried, but it's getting hot. It's getting very hot, so I'm gonna tidy up a little bit and then go inside and cool down for a little bit and work on my toolbox, which I'm messing about with as well. Right, So I'll catch up with you in the next shot. So the lights, sun's going down, I'm starting to get eaten by midges. Let me show you what I've been doing. I have wired up the main ignition switch. So these are done, not very well, granted, but as I said, I'm going to redo them anyway. The horn is hooked up, and we're just working through all the lights. It's starting to get hard to read which is which. I've worked out which is indicators. That one. It's the main feed for the indicator, but my soldering iron is starting to fail. It's not wanting to light up, and I'm going to have to, it looks like I'm going to have to, because all the lights are, that's the indicator for the main beam, left main beam, right main beam somewhere else, high beam, it's just, yeah, right rear turn, they're all, it's good because it's labelled, but they're all different sizes. Like, why on earth would you need right rear turn? Why would you need that for an indicator when the fronts are right front signal? That, what's that one? I don't know. So I'm going to leave it for tonight, tidy up a bit, and then hit it again tomorrow. So see you in the morning. Well, it's been a little while since I last filmed. It's been about 2 weeks since I shot the last scene, and wiring's boring. You don't want to watch somebody wiring a car because it's boring. It's boring to do, it's boring to watch. So I finished it. Nearly finished it. This is what I've come up with. Everything's all wrapped in this nice green wrapping, and everything seems to go pretty well. Obviously the connections aren't final because I can't get the right connections that I want here, so it's going to wait till we're back in play. I'm not 100% happy with it, as I've just said, and I've left room for manoeuvring when I'm back at home. So I'll show you the engine bay. No real issues. The only issue that I had was with the alternator. I thought it had a built-in voltage regulator, and when I saw 17.5 volts on the battery, I soon realized it didn't, so I had to wire in the old voltage regulator back in. This wiring is for the underglow lighting, which takes a different route, but I'll redo that when I'm back in the UK. One of the biggest problems that I tend to find with older cars is earthing issues. Anything electrical, it's probably a bad earth. So I have a million earth wires coming back. Now all of these, every single light from the wiring goes from here to here, round the front, round the back. Every single light has its own earth. Most of the lights are connected into the same one. But obviously there's loads of systems, indicators, dip beam, high beam, engine. This isn't finished. I'm going to mount a remote sort of earthing point here and have one lead going to the battery, which will be a lot better. I'll show you the engine underneath the bulkhead. This isn't my favourite part. So this is what we've got. Obviously the loom that we had is for a later car. It's for a Ford pickup, and it has things like power windows, dome light, and also electric fuel pump and what have you. I've just folded those over, heat shrunk them together, because I may use them for extra lighting when we're back in the UK. I'll fit LED driving light and just anything I need to do. Plus this isn't finished, obviously this is not ideal. This is going, so I can move this and I can maneuver it. I can hide it up under here, and there's enough length in the cable behind it to do it. And if I do need it shot anything, I'm replugging stuff anyway, so it's not too much of an issue. So I've just called these up nice and neatly. I say nice and neatly, they're out of the way. I've also added Pelter intercom. Thank you so much to Craig for selling me that. So now I've got an intercom, and so does the passenger. So when we're driving with the windscreen up, we can still hear each other. And also when the windscreen's down, it's okay to about 100 kilometers, but you get a lot of wind noise through the microphone. So I've got some microphone covers coming. Down at the back, managed to get the bike all rewired with the green sheathing, and obviously I've made this so I can, well, because the doors are welded shut at the moment, when I want to be able to open them, I'll cut them open, and there's enough room there. And the wire runs all underneath the chassis, round the back. New lights on the back, £10 a pair. It's not worth messing about with. I'm going to buy a whole load of them before I go back, and of the front lights. But that's about it. The dash, on the dash, the indicator telltales work, and that's about it. I haven't wired up the amp gauge. I'll probably do that when I'm back in the UK, because I think that'd be quite handy. I haven't wired up the fuel gauge to the fuel tank, so that's why that one doesn't work. Fuel temperature gauge and oil gauge, these should work, but I'm not 100% sure why. It's probably the sensor that's gone bad. I do have a power probe, and I'll power probe them later, but that's yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that another time. I've got this weekend I need to finish this video, which is now, and then make a start on the next video, which is the lack of power steering pump and the lot of power steering fluid, and just general servicing, because it's only me, because Phil is back in Blighty. I've got his FJ. Dave is due a service, well overdue a service, so I'm going to get this one vaguely somewhere near, and then we'll do Dave. But that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe out there. And let me know if you've got any comments about either car, or any of the cars really. The Discovery's broken. Shock. I need to do a year update on that one, because I've had it over a year now. Jeez, where's the time gone? Where has the time gone? Right, yeah. Catch up with you later. Take care, stay safe. Bye now.